the grand finals of the Game on Asia Invitational, and this time we are actually going to get into the pistol right off the bat. So my name is CSGO, and alongside with me is
Volty, and yeah, the grand final is going to be between TyLoo and Inchk1ng. Both of these teams played fairly well on both of their games. I feel like Inchk1ng had the easier opponents, but then at the same time played a really good game themselves. Let's see if they can go up against TyLoo, who played incredible against Skyred as well, even though it was a little bit more tight. Inchk1ng, they're coming up on long, and they do get these first entries to work with. TyLoo left alone with a 2-on-4 situation, and DZ goes in for one on long, goes in for the second kill, but misses way too many shots. Gives Real X and Fu enough time to work that together, and goes in for the kill eventually as well. There you have it. Fancy coming up as well, and he's got the USP. Might go in for one, but I highly doubt that this round is doable.
It's the headshot actually, which is quite surprising. But yeah, DZ had the greatest chance out there, coming in from behind. He could have surprised the enemies kind of well with the backstab shots, but he did not actually get too many kills, just got one. And after all, it will be Inchk1ng taking the pistol, which was looking quite easy for them for the most part. Then finally the return kills came when the enemies came in from long, but still that was way too late. So we can treat it like everybody went down when it was still 4 people alive for Inchk1ng. Then some exit frags for TyLoo, but really that doesn't matter at all, because it's just, I mean, drop Kevlars at most, or the additional $300 for one of the players out there on TyLoo, but that will not matter in the long run. And we've got Inchk1ng massively in the lead, but the first kill of this round goes the way of TyLoo. However, he's got the Mach 10 and will be getting rid of some of the enemies. Easy meantime in the middle, he pushes out and he spots another guy, and somebody strikes him from the side, but that's easy. He's not going to pretty much deal any more damage as being pushed down by 3 members of the enemy team. Oh my goodness, what the hell was Ming doing out there? I have no idea, but they have to plant the bomb finally. He's on it.
There we go, Ski. Yeah, what I was most shocked about in this round was the fact that the scout, I think that was DZ with the scout in the B site, he just went back and forth flickering, trying to get the shot on whoever was there. I don't see, like, they take way too many risks here, TyLoo. They're being way too confident, and I think that's something that we saw made them lose a lot of rounds in the earlier game as well, where they met Skyred. The rounds that they did lose was because of the fact that they were being a little bit more overconfident, and that being the result of a more even game, obviously, than the earlier one that we just saw.
Right, so that's 2-0 in favor of Inchk1ng. We'll be continuing with, once again, just pistols for TyLoo, just a pure eco. The next one should matter finally, and then we'll get to see if actually TyLoo stand a chance out here against Inchk1ng, because in my eyes, I think Inchk1ng are still the favorites out here.
Yeah.
Let me quickly take a look at the veto process. It was Inchk1ng picking Dust 2, so this is their own map, alright. But, well, we'll see how it all goes. Hazy with a double actually out there on long, and well, that's just pistols, so they should wreck it. So, to say the rest maps will be Dust 2, and actually that thing just proves you completely untrue, as the next one is going to be Cobblestone, picked by TyLoo, and the last map is Overpass.
Oh my god.
Wrecked. But yeah, well, we'll be seeing these maps played, and that's a great thing. We've got a little bit of a diversity in the maps. We've not seen Dust 2 today. We've not seen Overpass just yet, so we'll finally get to see them.
That's because they picked Cash earlier, TyLoo, so they wanted to meet them on another map.
Yep.
Even it out. I'm not sure. Inchk1ng, they do have a good leg shot on Fancy right there. Good one to start off with. DZ here with the A4 trying to deal crucial damage. Not going to make it happen though. Hazy just goes in for that kill straight out through the smoke, spots the man out, and goes in for the straight up spray. Heat missing out on one shot right there. Lucky no scope if it was to happen. Goes in for the kill on middle. Captain Moo just falls down, and the gang, they know how to play this run right now. It's all up to TyLoo. They need to get this reply and equalize this game as soon as possible. But even if they do, it's Fu who goes in for another one. Could have come down to somebody to get another frag. That would be incredible. He just flickers back and forth with his head beneath that box. And look at that. Fancy's coming up from behind. He's going to catch Ming with 100 HP remaining. He just continued to push that. But Ming goes in for the straight up frag. Because of that, the reply is there. And Fancy luckily didn't turn around all the way to short early into that, because if he did, then there would have been a most likely chance for me to take that one home.
Okay, so TyLoo indeed showing they surely stand a chance. And I mean, it's the grand finals, so it should be even out. And we did not have many teams in the pool, since this is just a 4 teams Invitational Cup. But that would be great if we get to see an even out finals after all. If TyLoo, if they are the underdogs, step it up. Who knows? Let me quickly actually take a look at CSGO Lounge to see which one of the teams is more favored out here, and it is actually 87% in favor of TyLoo, would you believe?
Oh my god.
Massive advantage out there. We'll see how it goes here. We've got TyLoo with an AWP aiming straight at middle, and that's going to be a good move, but then the smoke cuts it off completely. Blind shots are not going to hit the targets. Now DZ, he was about to peek out there, and gladly the enemies entered from the middle, so he could surprise the guys from the tunnels too. As he peeked at them as they were on the run, and it will be Hazy landing a shot. Then we've got Inchk1ng completely obliterated right here entering the site. I mean, that was a 4-on-2 situation at least, and they completely failed it. And Hazy with another kill. That still leaves him down to 21 HP, and yeah, Mo exactly knew where the enemy was and got that kill easily.
And TyLoo, 2 ops on him right now, and meeting Inchk1ng in a round like this should be a little bit more easier, obviously, knowing that, okay, now that we won 2 rounds in a row, then Inchk1ng, they should be down to a lower budget. However, they've still got utility to work with, and team damage dealt in the early beginning of it all by TyLoo right there, it doesn't really matter, I don't think so. Inchk1ng, however, they've got utility to work with, and I think this might be the problem for TyLoo to handle. Like, are Inchk1ng good enough at using these nades, or is it going to be easy for you to hold this back, hold them back at least? Ski goes in for a first, Ming as well with another one, and Hazy and the gang, I mean, they turn this around as TyLoo with 2 kills comes out from CT, and there you have it. Fancy left alone in CT. They know that he's there. Wouldn't say aggression is what you want to go with here.
Looking great for Inchk1ng out here, but yeah, Mo was trying to be very smart, but he got caught off guard completely. Sitting behind the car without any big cover, he just expected the enemies to not expect him right there. And he got obliterated right up to the butt. And as you said, Zki got the first frag, and that is already a weapon for the team that was supposed to just play with the pistols, and that's a massive thing. And great push right there on long by Inchk1ng, and as you said, the utility, the grenades helped them out massively. They gained control, they caught off the last guy, Fancy, in the CT spawn by the smoke, so he couldn't do anything after all. Probably would have been able to beat at least one of the pistols to bring it back to a 1v1. Instead, he stayed in a 1v2, and then got obliterated by the op. And that's going to be 4-2 in favour of Inchk1ng, and we've got double op set up right now for the terrorists, so that should look quite fine, especially as they've got the 5-on-3, 5-on-2, 5-on-1 from the start. So many kills all over the place so easily. 4A with a triple kill, and Zeki lands one, Hazy also gets one. So you can see the double op setup is not so spectacular, but it's doing its own job. So a kill each op, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, now the Inchk1ng should be aware of the fact that TyLoo is on a lower budget. This shouldn't be one of those rushier rounds. You want to take a look and wait for these tinier mistakes to be done by TyLoo. However, they go really offensive out on long, and I mean, as I mentioned, that pays off really, really clean for TyLoo. The fact that Inchk1ng are being this offensive, and it's about time now that they realize, okay, maybe because of the fact that we opened up with an AK for them, we should take it a little bit more easy. But they still want to go offensive on this, and I don't know if that's the right output to play this way. I mean, sure, they give them away so many weapons. They might even win this round. It doesn't really matter at this stage in the game, because TyLoo, if they pick up these weapons, it's free rounds in the early future. Relax though, and the AK-47 on short. He jumps down on middle. Gotta be spotted out here by somebody. Goes in for the kill, and I mean, across middle with that CZ-75, that's it's quite impressive. Reels with this AK-47. Gonna be pushing out. He knows that the bomb is there, and it's DZ. He's gonna be meeting with an AWP. Goes in for the straight up kill. Picks up the bomb. He's still got 40 seconds to work with. He could even turn towards B if he gets the kill on whoever was down in lower tunnels. That would be terrific. QZ will be going in and putting the nail in the coffin right there. Real X goes down, and 5-3 is what we're seeing.
Yeah, they shut it down completely, and Inchk1ng were trying, but I feel like it's been their own very mistakes, and we've said how much we are surprised by the great aim that these teams are having out here throughout the whole matches, but this time it was Inchk1ng failing completely just because of the aim. I mean, the guy in the upper tunnels got caught off guard because he knew that there's somebody had to be in the tunnels pushing up from the CTs because they had the surprise they were playing with pistols. He went for the shot but completely missed it, so he dropped it onto the enemies, and somebody is gonna find a double. Wow, that was an opportunity for another because the enemies lined up perfectly for him. Would have been probably a thing that very rarely happens. I think like it's a 1 in a billion chance, not even a million, that's too few. 2 double kills consecutively in one round. That would have been a great highlight.
I think he got 3.
Yeah, still got 3 kills, of course.
It's
that's
incredible.
Great. But do you even recall any player being able to get 2 double kills with 1 bullet in 1 round? I mean, 2 bullets to 4 kills. No, that would be awesome. 4-8 from the start. He's down on the ground, and we'll have the 5-on-4 situation in favor of TyLoo, but not for much longer. A fancy though, it's down to him. The enemies, they blind themselves with a flashbang. And that is not really helpful.
Looks like TyLoo has a good read of what's going on as well. They have a good idea of what Inchk1ng wants to do, and I'm not sure during the time that they didn't play, maybe they watched Inchk1ng's game and thought that, okay, maybe if they decide to play with Dust 2, Cash, whatever kind of looking BA mid map that we're going to be seeing, it's really, really easy to read how they play, and it's Inchk1ng once again who has to step up to the show, try to make sure they're a little bit more unpredictable. Something that we're seeing now is that, okay, a lot of offense happens all the time. TyLoo knows that, and by far, for example, in the pistol round that we earlier saw from TyLoo, Inchk1ng did go really, really offensive. For example, out on long, even though they lost a man on long, they kept continuing that push, and TyLoo has a good read of what they want to do here, and we'll see. I mean, look at that middle, just being a demolishing area. Somebody and QZ, they know how to play that together, and it comes down to somebody from back off up on B, or mid, I mean, Foo goes in for 1, but it's over. I mean, sure, he goes in for 2. Might that be a 3rd? No.
On the AWPs, definitely looking great for TyLoo out there. Both hoppers doing a great job, and not only both hoppers pretty much, because it was QZ and Mo at this moment, but it also was somebody earlier on with an AWP. All the hoppers that they've got out there are doing their job very well. Now QZ with a double, previously somebody with a triple, and we'll be seeing once again a round with a double up setup, but they are facing off against a just pistol. So Inchk1ng, they know that they've got nothing to lose. They might be trying to run some enemies down, and that's going to be risky for TyLoo. And somebody pushes through the smoke, goes down right at the bat. The AWP shot is missed, and now that might be also going down. Ming with some great shooting with a P250, picks up the AWP, and there is also an AK for the team. So yeah, they switch up the weapons. Zeke will be playing with the AWP, and he lands a shot and fancy. Juicy finally tries to answer, but that's way too late. He was left on a 1v4. And this is Inchk1ng taking the round. 6-6, looking extremely evened out.
This is, and at this stage in the game, what I'd say is mostly interesting is that Inchk1ng, time after time after time, where they win a round, they get that start of momentum. They get that glimpse of momentum. Something we saw on Cobblestone as well, and the rest of the maps they were all played. It's always Inchk1ng who needs to go on that spree to make sure they become the robots that we were talking about earlier. Ski and the gang. We'll see how this goes. AK-47 comes up on middle, goes in for the straight up headshot. TyLoo has lost their first man on middle, and that's QZ who falls down. Somebody with the A4 shoots like crazy through on long, and gives info of Inchk1ng, knowing that, okay, yeah, long is not a preferable idea to go with, but we have an advantage on going into the A side. There's only 2 of them there, and with 1 man missing, since we already got that entry, maybe this is an alternative we want to go with. Fancy picks up the AWP, throws over the A4 towards the B side, and the Molotovs come up. It looks like they want to execute into this A side in the end.
Well, there we go. Captain Mo Facing off against a big problem, but he's going to get a double at least. We'll be looking for the third kill. Finally, RealX pulls out the deal, but it still took him a little bit of time to get the kill out there. We've got a 2-on-3. Misses another shot. Very unfortunate out here with the AWP. He's not be able to land a single shot this round, and he shot like 5 of them. Ming with 1, but then the last man standing is RealX, and all alone. He had Molly, could have used it. Doesn't even matter. His fancy was peeking every now and then and spotting the enemy out. There was another guy jumping up from the CT slope and also taking a peek out there, so they knew exactly where the enemy was, and all they needed to do is land the shot, which apparently RealX was not able to do throughout the whole round.
7-6, and Inchk1ng will we'll see if they can get their way back into this now that their economical situation is a little bit screwed. I mean, it's still doable, but when you lose nades, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. You need to utilize these nades at the perfect time. TyLoo has already got in for 1 entry. There you have it, the equalizer that I was always talking about in the earlier game. It's their Inchk1ng. They really focus on that. Good for them. Now, 4-4 situation, if they want to push into a site now, then that would be preferably, I'd say, at this stage in the game, the B side, because they have a lot of utility they can still work with. There's still smoke on Ski. Smoking off CT goes in for that first kill on middle, and then have a go on whoever's in that B side. DZ, I think that is on the Gower side. And yeah, he even falls down, so RealX already got that first entry. The smoke has not been used just yet. Ski, he's still waiting with that. And he's still inside of tunnels.
Yeah, fancy. With a good shot on RealX, the enemy Elise Ski returns, and that will be with the AWP, the last man standing. But that is once again the seesaw I've been mentioning throughout the whole day, round for round, and no stability pretty much in this game. That's going to be missing a shot. Already Ski knows where the enemy is, and Hazy has got some support. The great flashbang actually does not blind the enemy too much. Mo, what is he going to do? Enters the site with the AWP and knew exactly where Ski was, but did not really have an idea of where Hazy might be, and he just goes down. So that's going to be 7-7 we've got out here.
That's the 15th round coming up, last round of the first half, and TyLoo, what can they do except going in for this first? And Inchk1ng, sure, they have a good advantage winning this round, but back-to-back, we've seen rounds after rounds after rounds turn around. It's so unpredictable. We can't say TyLoo is going to lose this for sure, because Inchk1ng, they might just have out of the game, and I'm not sure. Like, anything can happen in these kind of games. And Ski, with the AK-47, tries to go in for the first entry, misses out on a couple of shots on long, but still, we'll be trying to make sure to clean this area out. We'll be throwing that crucial AG down on Pit. Still misses out on a couple of shots, and they get these kills. And I'm not sure what's going on right now. TyLoo! TyLoo! That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. Hazy is left alone. I like
destroying the enemy. Yeah. So, I mean, that, as you said, that doesn't happen, and it's going to be Hazy left all alone. He's got the AWP, but he pulls out the Tech 9 as he knows it's going to come to close quarter fights, and everybody was low on health, but he only managed to get the headshot on the Easy, and immediately after goes down. So we've got 8-7 in favor of TyLoo with a very surprising last round win. And the second half is surely also going to be very interesting, so I'm extremely hyped up for it.
And this pistol round is going to be important. If Inchk1ng wins this pistol, they might have a greater opportunity to get a good go into this. But TyLoo, still, they've got a good understanding of how they want to meet Inchk1ng, and it looks like overall, it's been on their side all along. They always have that momentum flow and always have that kind of knowledge that they need. Even though they lost rounds, it's because of these small individual fights that didn't really work out all the way. TyLoo, they've got DZ coming up close with a couple of frags right there supporting each other. They get these kills and they push out onto long and even short to get these kills, and CT just being all crowded out. TyLoo plays this on a next level, and 4 players remaining after winning a round 9-7, being the pistol round as well. I feel like Inchk1ng, I'll just go in for this straight up first, try to make sure you deal economical damage early into this to TyLoo, because if you want to get back now, it's going to get hard. It's going to get really, really hard unless you deal economical damage quick. And if you don't win this one, then at least make sure you've made them drop a couple of weapons.
Okay, so actually QZ's just playing with a USB. And here we go, the 5-7s. We've got some bad memories of 5-7s from Cobblestone, the previous map that was played right here in the previous best of 3. This time they don't do as much damage, but now the CZ step it up, but that's going to be Ski with a triple on Catwalk. Runs out of bullets, but surely has some weapons to pick from. And it will be a 2-on-3 situation, so still not as ideal as Inchk1ng would have thought it would be. But they only have to face off against somebody, and well, that's the MP7 in his hands. So he could shred through the enemies, but when they know exactly where he is, when they'll be aiming at that angle, they will not let him.
55 seconds remaining of this round. He can do a lot. He goes in for the first kill. 81 HP remaining on Real X. Is he gonna be able? No. He's gonna go down, and that's with the Mac 10 as well. Picks up the AK in the end, and I mean, they profit well off of this. Inchk1ng, this is one of the greater rounds that they could play, and TyLoo at this stage in the game as well they're not really on the lowest, but they're on a low budget, and yeah, the utility that they need to get through with is gonna be really hard to use as well, because of the fact that Inchk1ng still has they have utility to counter with, so to say. So we'll see how this goes. Inchk1ng versus TyLoo continues with the 18th round. You can see the 87% CSGO Lounge real-time odd and 13% on Inchk1ng. This is it's too much of a tight game to say this is fair on Lounge, right?
There we go. That is Real X with a headshot on DZ through the smoke. He's going to get a lot of damage down, and he'll be continuing as he sees some enemy jumping up but misses the shots completely. So this time it's going to be TyLoo now taking the advantage, and of course, they were the ones in the advantage from the very beginning here. And so, well, Inchk1ng, they got around. They shouldn't have actually been allowed to win. Now it seems like TyLoo want to return to their rightful place, and it will be QZ with the AWP left out there, and Fancy just waiting around the box. He doesn't have to peek, but he actually goes for it and gets the instant headshot on Ming. We've got 10-8 in favor of TyLoo here.
And we'll see how this continues. Now, TyLoo's still going to go with the MP7. Are they? That's the question here with DZ. If he goes straight up with this MP7, it would be good to see if he got a couple of frags here. Obviously, he knows now that Inchk1ng is down to a low budget, but still, it's a risky move to go with. If he drops that, they can earn so much money off of this. He needs to make sure he's safe and offensive at the same time, which is probably one of the harder tasks in this entire game. He goes in for the first kill, though. Good headshot coming up on Ming, and look at that. It's still an equalizer because of the fact that Inchk1ng already got a frag early into this, and that's by, I think that was Ski going in for the first frag. There we go for another one, too. Just going wild, and one by one, they fall apart. TyLoo, they've got QZ with this AWP going in for the kill on whoever was long, and there is another one. Look at that provocative play.
QZ with a good play right here indeed. Very consistent throughout this round. We'll have 11-8 in favor of TyLoo, and yeah, not only did he get a double right here in the very beginning of the round, he also shot KZ, I think, down to 35 HP, so also from the very start doing a ton of damage.
20th round coming up, and Inchk1ng once again down to a lower round that is most likely gonna be lost here, unless, you know, and what I mentioned earlier, anything can happen. TyLoo, though, on the C side is a little bit more stable, I feel like, and in comparison to Inchk1ng, this team knows how to play this T side on their A bases. There you have it, Captain Mo going in for one, but the bomb is dropped across the map, and look at that. They've got all the T side control here, Inchk1ng.
Might be an issue right here for TyLoo, surely, but is Fancy getting a double kill like that? Doesn't seem so, actually. And there we go, the terrorists will probably be pushing towards B from the middle. That's their best shot at retaking the tunnels, just picking up the bomb and running straight back to the site to try and get it planted. If they wanted to get through the lower tunnels, they would have to also get the kills first of all. They would have no chance of just picking up the bomb and getting away from there. And they're exactly going to do that. Just take a look at how Inchk1ng cover that angle. They're all falling back and they're not having any vision on the bomb. So it easily gets picked up, gets planted. Now it is Inchk1ng in a retake situation all of a sudden. And they killed the guy that was lowest on health, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But as Ming gets the headshot on Mo, we'll get real close. Fancy, he got a triple this far. We'll be looking for the quad and we'll get it very surely.
It's all on timing right there. I mean, the fact that they don't spot the bomb at the exact time TyLoo goes in and picks it up, goes in with a straight up plan. And even in the end, a lot of it came down to timing. Once again, Fancy hiding behind the wall of the box just as soon as I think that was Ski came up, or Ming maybe came up from C team. So lucky enough, TyLoo takes that one home, and it looked like a lot of timing right there. It was all in the timing, definitely. Inchk1ng. See how it goes for them. I mean, maybe now we're clarifying and seeing that, okay, Inchk1ng, this is why they're down to 13%, but then at the same time, it's an unfair score or it's an unfair odd to have on CSGO Lounge, especially when you're playing the way you're doing, and they're definitely stepping up a lot of rounds where I wouldn't see them get kills at all. There you have a good headshot coming out with a scout on middle. Hazy falls down, and QZ with another one through that smoke. I don't, like, this is that no smoke bug still there?
I mean, he had the one chance out there, but then he did not pull the trigger, and I was like, oh, come on, that's over. But then the enemy once again walked straight into his crosshair, and then he pulled the trigger. And that's a godlike timing out there. We'll have, though, somebody planting the bomb, and of course it is TyLoo in the lead, and things like that to just make them win rounds somehow, sometimes even accidentally. And of course, we are talking about the odds on Lounge all that time, and it's 87% in favor of TyLoo, but it's not looking like a match like that, as you pointed out. And also, this round surely could have gone the way of Inchk1ng. Some other rounds also surely could have gone the way of Inchk1ng. But yeah, the great mobility that was brought in by Scout, and a headshot right off the bat from somebody, and the shot through the smoke already made it a 5-on-3, and already made it so favorable for TyLoo, and things like that can be prevented so easily.
Definitely. We'll see though. TyLoo, they're playing this safe odd game that I really like about this. What I'm a big fan of here is that Inchk1ng, at the same time as they're playing this defensive kind of half offensive play, having one player play really defensive in mid, just make sure that, okay, if anyone passing, then Inchk1ng has a good push on towards short. That didn't work this time though, but if it ever came to a point in which TyLoo decided to play that mid play, try to get entries on middle, then it would be easy for Inchk1ng to get a couple of frags on short. 3 ops this time though, Mingsky and Hazy on those 3. We'll see about this.
Alright, yeah, exactly. We'll see about this. That's going to be surely very interesting. From now on, got Hazy down to 57 HP, so these ops don't really do as much as they probably would have wanted it to. That'll be Ori though, getting a double kill out there around the middle, and the AWP is just not paying out at all. It's going to be the M4 to still do the most damage this round this far. See how it continues, because, well, TyLoo on the back foot. And that does not really happen too often, so Inchk1ng, they've got to use it. They've got to close this round out in their own favor.
And QZ in middle. 2 great kills coming up on him right there. And Relax, he's got only that M4 to work with, and he's going to be meeting one long-range weapon and, you know, another rifle that is probably going to be really hard to handle. And yeah, he can't handle it. Relax just falls down, puts that plant down. There you have it. Somebody with a plant, and QZ with the EWP. Good position to get these easy frag. Ming should be going down by that moment. And there you have it. 15-8. Good plays coming up here. And 15-8 for TyLoo, as I mentioned. I don't have much to say. I mean, Inchk1ng, they showed up to the battle in the earlier half. I've got to say, you know, it was a good first half. But on this CT side, it's like TyLoo's had control over every single thing that they were trying to do.
Yeah, so here we go. 15, 8, and 7 match points out there is surely going to be enough to close out the map. And Inchk1ng slightly in the back of it. We're talking about the economy still. Ming's playing with the CZ. Relax is going to find the first frag of DZ though, and well, they've got slight advantage for Inchk1ng, but just as previously said, they had to use that advantage to their own favor, but it actually did not work out just as they wanted. The AWPs, the 3 AWPs they had so very recently are now gone, and the same is going to happen to the force buy that they've got this time. It is just very easily TyLoo bringing it back, and they've got the 2-man advantage from now on. It will be Fancy landing a shot in 4-8, so just Hazy's left out there, and he's going to get caught by somebody. That's the first map going the way of TyLoo, and it was, as we said, could have been much more evened out. However, also, on the other side, very easily it could have been much better for TyLoo even at some points.
And remember how I talked about Inchk1ng always utilizing the fact that, okay, you can play these close range battles with a P90s, for example, drop on cobblestone and so on. TyLoo did that on this map a lot of the time as well. For example, when they had in this last round, for example, the P90 down in lower dark and these things. I think TyLoo are going to be exploiting this map to the absolute fullest as well. 1-0 right now in favor of TyLoo and Inchk1ng. Yeah, I'm not too sure what to say about this team at this stage in the game. They need to get a good hold of what's going on. I feel like Inchk1ng, they're that kind of team that can deliver as soon as they get that first info. So let's hope they'll be able to prevail and get a little bit more into the game this time on Cobble at least.
Yep, cobblestone, and then if we need the third map, it's going to be overpass, and TyLoo will now be playing on their own comfort map of choice, so going to be very hard for Inchk1ng, but Inchk1ng already showed what they can do on Cobble against NXL, and they proved that they can win the enemy's map of choice. So we'll find out how it goes in about 5 to 10 minutes, but before we go to the break, make sure to check out the giveaways that we've got out there. We've got the social media giveaway, we've got a followers giveaway, and the subscribers giveaway, so there's many chances for you to get some skins out there. Social media, it's facebook.com/itsgameongg and twitter.com/itsgameongg, and you can win an AWP Hyper Beast minimal wear. And we've also got some bonus giveaways that we might have out there, but that a little bit later. Followers, if you just follow the channel, this one or the Russian one, you have a chance at Stat Track, M4A4, Evil Daimyo, Factory New. So just follow the channel, that's it. And also the subscriber giveaway is probably the biggest one and the best one. Shadow Daggers, Slaughter, Factory New for the subscribers. And also we've got some bonus giveaways, as I said, as if we get 5 subs today, we'll give away an AWP Cortesera minimal wear. And if we get 15 subs today, we'll give away that Cortesera and also a Man of War AWP. So let's get the sub hype on, and well, just make sure to do that. Also, huge shout out to our sponsors, Strafe and Esports Gaming. My name is Integrate. Alongside with me has been casting Volty. You can find us on facebook.com/Integrate and twitter.com/Integrate, and also twitter.com/VoltyTheKing. So we'll see you after the break.